I burn the twigs and leaves and flowers of this forest. As I burn my soul to pay my deepest respects to you, O Bhagwan. Please accept my offerings and bless me. Bhaga, leader of this tribe and priest of this village. And bless all the villagers present before you. And bless these seeds so we do not go hungry in the cold winter. Oh God! Why is Bhagwan angry with me today? Have I not kept my people happy? Have I hurt my Dharti Ma, my mother earth? I ask you now, O Nanga Bega, my ancestor. On this holy day of Pitri, all I want is for the gods to come and bless these seeds so we do not go hungry. Is it too much to ask? It is a question of your survival, your descendants' survival, Bhaga's survival. I, as the leader of this tribe and priest of this village, I took over my father as he took from his. I am the light my tribe looks up to, and yet I have no light left in me. And I look for your guidance, O Supreme God. So come and bless me. Come and possess me. Come and let all hear you. You will call me one day. If you cannot find answers yourself, call Nanga Bega. I've been dying in the hills to tell you something very important. So listen carefully. The one who cut open the forest is responsible for the drought. And the one who burned the Mother Earth is responsible for the hunger. And the one whose wife killed your son is responsible for your pains. Oh, the soothing and yet soothing Maua drink. It is true, isn't it, that your wife left away with someone from outside and that she killed your son and now she left with that outsider from the town? Yeah. Why then do you lament so much and disturb the peace of Bhagwan, huh? Do you think he has nothing better to do than to look into the affairs caused by adulterous women murdering mothers? Oh, I cannot believe one of my daughters killed her own son. Well, my son too. All of you are my sons and daughters, and we do not kill anyone, even our enemies. Oh, Bhaga! What have you done to save the honor of our village? Ah! What have you done for the people of this tribe? You should be ashamed calling me in your body like this. I feel ashamed. I feel naked. What have I done for my people? What have I done for my tribe? He was my son too. I sacrificed my only son. They said he was hiding the truth. They said I was hiding the truth, but in the naked beggar life, there is no truth to be hidden. The truth must be told loudly, and I shall say the truth out aloud. Your son was not a beggar. He was a city mongrel. You sent him to the city to study, hoping for an illuminated future, but he brought back ill fate.
He was only 16. My son. Only 16. Yet full of rage and courage. If you don't have courage, but only the rage, it gets you killed. If you have courage along with the rage, it gets you killed faster. He was enraged at the world. He said that our mother is suffering for their factories and for their utter disregard for the earth. That the climate change ignited in the cities was extinguishing our forests. He was enraged at the world for deceiving us. He taught us to count from 1 to 4. He said we should get 4 kgs of salt for 1 kg of lentils, not 1 kg bartered by the salt merchants. 4. All these years, all beggars would not have to die 4 times to live once. One, two, three, four. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 1.
Bhagwan first chose me, Nanga Beggar, as the leader of all the tribes. He made me sit on his throne and asked me. He beseeched me to get Dhartima from the clutches of the Serpent King. Oh, no amount of Maua liquor can make you go that deep. After a lot of struggle, all we could get was some tiny pieces of her skin. So Bhagwan infused nectar into her and made her occupy the whole Middle Earth. The Mother Earth has kept her promise. She gives us food and shelter as long as we do not cut her, pierce her. For generations we have lived and died and been buried in the vast slopes and the wide forests. We live amongst the gods. But your son, he tries to change all that. He tries to be a god, a Hindu, a comrade. We are the sons of this land. Earth is our mother, and Tiger is our brother.
Tiger is our brother? My son asked. He lives in a cave, and government gives an entire forest to him. Tiger forest. We are not allowed to enter it. Earth is our mother? My son asked. We are not even allowed to collect leaves from the very forests where our ancestors and we have lived for generations.
It's your wife. I know it. As the only one who refuses to accept it is you, Baka. Blinded by love. When will you realize that she's the one who's responsible? She killed your son and left with that outsider. She did not even repay the 41 baskets of Maua liquor that you paid her father for her marriage. Unheard of. Disgusting, not even a single bucket back. No! Not 41. 104. And still not enough for my Hirini. I saw her on the Dasera dance. Parrot's elegance in her walk. Narmada river in her eyes. And the lakes and the peaks of Michael Hills in her body. But before I could announce my interest in her, my brother announced. The elders clapped, the drummer strummed, and my heart blanched. I could not sleep for days. For weeks I stalked her, not having enough courage to talk to her. She finally stopped me one day at the edge of the forest and said, "A tiger does not stalk. It pounces and kills."
A river's mind is free and unburdened. It chooses the direction it flows. A woman is free to follow her love, not caring which way the wind blows. A tigress is meant for a tiger. She can't be made to love and talks. The intoxicating mahua blooms, not to smell like sweet-scented rose. My father scorned me for calling Mahen an ox. He was elder of the brothers and was going to be the next village head. But I had rejected him. The whole world seemed to be angry. The leaves were falling early. The air seemed to be colder. I knew they all blamed me for all this, but no one said anything. Beggars respect their girls. All they could do was ask for an exorbitant sum of money and mahua liquor from my new suitor for the wedding. And suddenly, as if a black bear had woken up in the middle of his deep slumber, Bagha leapt forward. He found an ox and rode it. It was like watching poetry, a tiger looking for his tigress. In a trembling yet booming voice came the declaration, I propose to make an alliance with Hirani. My father shouted out, 14. It was unheard of. 14 baskets of mahua for a wedding? No, wait, 41. He had upped his price, clearly wanting Bagha to fail and tie a tigress with an ox. 104 was the reply. The entire village was stunned. Where would this boy get 104 baskets of mahua liquor? He collected leaves from the forest and sold them. He hunted and sold meat. He even worked as labor in far off places. It took him months. But 104 baskets of mahua he had delivered.
For 2 years, forest officers had blocked our access to the forest. They said forest is not our place. It does not belong to us, only the village. It was a hot day. Monsoon was weeks away, and I announced to the whole tribe that we will sneak into the forest and claim what is ours. I had taken care of every single detail except for one. My elder brother, the ox, still wilting in insult from the pain inflicted years ago. He moved to the DFO, the devil from the town who came in his jeep as we were lighting the shrubs on fire. I could not do anything. They say your son fought bravely. He kept lighting the shrubs on fire. And that is when you were surprised to see an outsider asking your begging for help. An outsider can never be a Baiga's friend. He lured your begging, and he gave her your gun. She lifted the gun and fired at your son. And you just stood there like a coward, not having enough courage, deserted by your wife by an outsider. Bagha, you are the 1000th generation created by Nangi and me. For generations we have lived and died and survived without anybody's help. But today, a change beckons us to claim what is ours. So I have asked the gods to make the rain erratic, to make the wild species disappear. And then the world will look for our help again and make us the center of the world that we were once. You're the chosen one, Bagha. I hereby implore you to give you the blood from my right shoulder, The way I gave it to my son thousands of years ago, that gave him the white magic to rule the world to the edge of the world. My father has dyed me red. The tiger is calling us back home.
Mother Earth decides which seed sprouts and which course the river takes. A Begin gets her will from Dhartima. A Begin can leave her Bega and choose another one at will. But can a Bega live without his Begin? Can a Bega bring about an entire revolution and proclaim the rights for his tribe without his Begin? For that reason, and for the reasons of love, if love can be bound by reasons, in this devil's castle, where even the wind needs permission to enter, nothing stops Bagha's magic from sending me sparks and prayers. My body may be the devil's slave, but my soul still lives for Bagha. On that sweltering day, when we were trapped in the burning forest, Bagha and my son were lost and engulfed by thick smoke. The devil wanted to teach his friend a lesson. A Bega woman holds a high place in our tribe, but is ostracized if an outsider violates her. As the devil started to enjoy my humiliation, my son emerged from smoke. The devil's gun silenced him. Bagha leapt from the other side and snatched his gun. And then we saw Mahen appearing from Patal. He looked at me in disgust. I was lying on the forest floor, as bare as Mother Earth. Bagha took aim at the devil, but when he pulled the trigger, the gun was pointing at the ox. The devil's army had started to surround us. Bagha jumped to me, whispered in my ears, and disappeared into the smoke. Centuries of Bagha wisdom had told him that if the villagers came to know that an outsider had violated me, they would scorn me and destroy our entire family. I begged the devil to take me with him. I told him I would live a slave's life. The devil owns me, uses me, abuses me, and life goes on. Like this was how it was supposed to be. One day, my Bagha used to say, one day we will be the lords of the land, just like we were, free. That's what my son had learned in the city, free. Just like how Bhagwan had created us, free. And free we will be one day, when the forest will shine bright crimson, when the sun will rise red in the east, when the rain will fall upon us gently, when the bear and tiger will roar in unison, when the river will take the sky in the fold. when we will be all out of our mind's prison, free. Bagha has sent today's message in a bowl. His Nanga spirit magic had brought back the villagers' trust back in him. His whispers still echo in my ears. His whispers when I was lying down on the floor of the forest. Tiger had to go to lower earth and slay the serpent in his home to get Dhartima, to get our freedom. This time, Pagan needs to go to Naga's lower earth to fight like a Shela warrior. One day, today,
कौन मैना मिले माया माली रे कौन मैना मिले जाना चारे एहो राम को